The carrots are coming in nicely this time. Maybe Ida's carrot cake won't taste like old socks.
You need something? My, what a fine lad. Were I a touch younger, I'd consider running away with you. Reginald be damned. As you should be. I used to be quite the catch back in the day. I didn't make it easy for Reginald to win me over. But he was always a stubborn. It flattered me, that stubbornness. I should have listened to my mother when she told me a headstrong husband is just as bad as a lazy one. One does nothing, the other wants everything done his way. But I thought I knew better. And now... Every marriage has its ups and downs, especially one that's lasted as long as ours. We worked hard our whole lives. I had hoped for a little peace at the end of the road. But now they say the weirdness is coming. And my husband... I know I don't have much time left, but there are better ways. It is hard. I'm not saying it's not. But we wouldn't be begged. We have a son in Burrow. He already wrote and said he'd take us in. But Reginald said no. Take care out there. Take care out.
You need something? Huh? Who goes there? Whatever you've got to say, I'm not interested. Good. Because I won't. Love? Nah, it's a shithole. All my life I've watched it turn into a dump. And it only got worse without lordling at the helm. But I gave everything I had to this land. We've had good years, sure. But we've also had years when we went hungry for days, so our kid... The weirdness. Just another storm to weather. Everything... And you've been through many droughts in your life. If you had, you'd know there's nothing simple. You just stand there and watch your crops die, praying for rain that never comes, wondering if your children are strong enough to... And the fat years aren't much better. You grow tall crops, and then you gotta strain your ears for straw children skulking around it until the weirdness can make work in the land any worse than it. Mora's always been a worrywart. If anything goes awry, it's the end of the world for her. Everything'll be fine. It always is, in the end. Rhys and Ida are staying, and they know how to work around the weirdness better than anyone. And do what? Fart into a bench and mooch off my children? I'd rather die than become the kind of father. As long as I can lift a hoe, I'll work the fields. And if I... No, I won't become a useless old man. And... Huh.
Thought I'd be alone.
You raise children, and then you hope they forget. Huh.
It's no use. Truth is, that's a fear we both share. I'd rather our children remember us as we were, not as doddering old fools who showed up, if that means dying in the way. Thank you for listening. Not many young folk bother. Give me your map. I'll mark where we buried a few things from Reginald's past. They're no good to us anymore, but perhaps... Take care out there. Take care out.
No fancy city boy's gonna tell me. Huh.
You need something?
Are you looking to buy the mill? It's seen better days, that's for sure. Even when my good... It needs work, but everything does if you want it to be worth something, right? Oh, my father owned the mill once. Then after he passed, As for me, I died as the miller's daughter, for the terrible crime of being the miller's daughter. The truth is, I don't remember my name. It's been so long since any... It was... stupid. You see, my father was a drunkard. The problem was, not a single word he said was ever true. And for some reason, he decided to tell people I could spin gold from straw. That ridiculous rumor made its way to King Sagramore. He locked me in a cell full of straw and told me it had to be spun into gold by morning. Well, what do you think happened? I sat in that cell, choking on the stench of rotting straw, and by morning, my throat was dry as parchment and full of dust. But when the first rays of sunlight, I remember shaking all the way to the block. But my last thought was of... I don't know. One moment, I was dead, and the next, it was like looking through a veil, still in this world, yet no longer part of it. Every beam and plank so familiar. He hanged himself, right there from that beam. I visited him in dreams, and I overheard someone say it must have been the guilt of my death gnawing at him. He wouldn't have felt a shred of guilt if I hadn't reminded him. First of all, he wasn't a king. He just liked calling himself that. Now that I think about it, surely that wasn't... He was a small, jittery man. Yet, in that cell, I wonder, did he too lose his head for claiming to be something he... I'm not sure. I've seen the sun rise and set so many times. Through the cracks in the walls, I watched the seasons change. I listened to the millstones, the mill, the seasons. Now everything is so still, death-like. It was beautiful, actually. The fields shimmered pale gold in the sun, carrying the scent of warm dust, and the whitewashed walls made the town glow. And the men here, I always liked our men here, you know. It looks a bit frightening, but it always felt warm. It used to, at least. Now it feels more like me with each pass. Help? Why would I need help? I'm fine. Nothing hurts. I can see I can watch the mice in the corner all day, and no one scolds me for lazing around. I'm content, but it's kind of you to ask. People don't always care about the well-being of strangers, especially ones who are already dead. Careful out there. The world's grown. I once visited my cousin in a village north of here. She had just had a baby. It was so tiny. I wonder what became of... No one stays long, but thank you for... I once visited my... No one stays...
Come on.
Can't sell Daisy. We're gonna need her.
What we're going to need is money. And she'll fetch a good price.
We still need to move somehow, don't we? She could pull the cart.
We have Clover for that. Look, I know how much this horse means to you, but I've already talked to Dinone. He's willing to pay a lot of gold for her.
But what if we...
No, Gil. Enough. We're selling her, and that's that.
I hope that Camelotian knows what a treasure he's getting. Daisy's not just any horse. She's the best one he'll ever have. I guess. I've spent a lot of time with him. Rob would always send me to the stables when I was getting... He'd say, Gil, you go to the stables and don't you... I guess I must have been an annoying... I do. Pa had to borrow money from Grandpa to buy it. And he had to work so hard to prove that he deserved it. After he and Ma passed away, Rob kept on working, and I did my best to help. Grandpa was... well, I don't know. I didn't see much, and now we're supposed to just leave after everything. It feels like we're letting him down. Have a nice day.
If you're interested in buying a horse, look somewhere else. This one's spoken for. She'll be going on. Aye. Man's name is Denholm. Seems important. Lots of men with him. They're here for the minute. Haven't you heard? They're moving everyone. Something to do with that men here of ours. Don't really care either way. As long as they keep their promises and give us a better place to live. Aye, and Ma and Pa would rather us alive somewhere else than dead here. Don't know yet, but we're strong and we're not afraid. I'm a decent carpenter, and Gil is good with horses. I'm sure we'll find... I know. He loves this place, and he loves us. Gil's memories of this farm are different from my own. And I only have myself to blame. Mind you, I don't regret any of it. But it sure doesn't make things easier with him. That's one way of putting it. This farm belonged to our grandfather. My parents were tending it. Both Ma and Pa died when Gil was still small. That left us with just dear old Grandpa. And he was a nasty... He told you that, eh? But yeah, if I saw that old bastard getting drunk, Grandpa had a heavy hand. And Gil was really small back then. I was scared that he... I bet Gil thinks I always did it because he was pissing me off. Drunk most of the time. Built like a barn door. That's something Gil got from him. He liked beating me to a pulp and telling me I was worthless. I remember he had this belt with a heavy iron buckle, shaped like a horse's head. He got it for his service as the master of horses at Warrior's Fair. Man, that one hit hard. Shame the old codger took it with him to his grave. I wish I could have kept it. So when I'd see some lowlife beating their kid, I could use it on them just like Grandpa taught me. What? Where the hell? A weird beast. So what does that mean? Grandpa got drunk, fell into the well, He got turned into a monster? But strange. Gil swore that he's... Nah, that's not it. He told me he waited all night, but Grandpa... I was in bad shape that day, so I didn't care either way. Ah, no matter. As long as the old fart's dead. Yeah, they're doing their job. For now. But let's not kid ourselves. This is a delay. No, we've got time to think, and that's about it. I've seen enough to know this place isn't safe. Staying means taking a gamble, and I'm not a fan of bad odds. If it gets worse, we'll have no choice but to leave. I just hope we'll have something worth bringing with us when that time comes. Sure, are you? You willing to pay 300 gold? Well, then you won't get Daisy. She'll be going to Denholm in a few days. If you haven't... Fine, you have a deal. Denholm will need... Have a good day.
Yeah, it did. What else did my brother tell you? Yes. I saw him walking towards the woods. It was an accident, I swear. I was at the stables. It was getting cold and Rob hadn't shown up to fetch me, so I went home. I saw Rob lying on the floor. He wasn't moving and he was covered in blood. And Grandpa was kneeling over him, just hitting and hitting. I begged him to stop, but he wouldn't listen. So I grabbed the iron pot and then he just crumpled. Afterwards he was so still, I didn't know what else to do. So I dragged that wailing thing. Oh God, may the All-Mother have mercy on me. What? I never meant for this to happen. I just wanted him to leave my brother alone. Are you going to tell Rob? You're right. I will. I'll tell him everything. Always a pleasure to see you. Take care of yourself.
Have a good day.
Oh.